What's going on, guys? SasDood here. You can just call me Sas. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day, or rather, a fantastic Christmas, in fact, because I'm recording this on Christmas, but it'll go out on the 27th, which is Saturday. And this video is an art supply review, and more specifically, it's on this Rite in the Rain number YE13 1.3 millimeter 2B mechanical pencil. Let me put my hand in front of the camera so it can focus. Like I've mentioned, this is one of the bigger lead sizes, coming in at 1.3 millimeters in the lead grade of 2B. It comes in this really striking yellow color, and it's got a striking barrel and lead pointer or lead tip, and the metal clip and this little end cap that's not the eraser is also metal, but the eraser is plastic. Now, the main body is made up of some type of ABS PET 1 material, it says on the website. But like I said, the metal clip, the pocket clip, this part right here, and then you have the barrel and the tip of this mechanical is all metal, and then the body is an ABS PET 1 material, right? So it weighs around 0.6 pounds with the packaging included. When you buy it, it's 0.7, but obviously the mechanical pencil itself is 0.6. It has a very nice like heft to it. It's a very nice weight, and it has a very nice satisfaction when you draw. That weight can be a downside for some people because with that weight, it can lead to your hand getting a little bit more tired, but I haven't had any problems with it. This was designed in Tacoma, excuse me, and it was made in China, but I bought it for $10 from my local Lowe's here in my state. But you can also buy it online in the Rite in the Rain website. So if you can see, it says it on the pencil there. There's Rite in the Rain. And right there it says 1.3 millimeter number YE13. This is commonly advertised as a wood marking / construction pencil, but I've been using it for drawing, and it's been pretty good for drawing. Well, like I said, it's mainly a woodworking pencil for like marking wood and such, but the website has features of this pencil advertised, such as the 2B grade lead. So here's the lead, 2B grade lead. It's dark, which means it's good for wood marking and stuff like that. You mark with the wood and where you want to cut it and things like that. It's got this durable and what they call glove-friendly metal grip, excuse me. And it has like an easy reload feature. You just twist off the top of this and drop the lead in and then twist it back on. What they don't mention though is, you want to see here, it's got a high quality smudge proof eraser. Normally when you compare it to a regular mechanical like this, right, it's you can see it on there, you can see the lead smudge and stuff like that, but with this pencil you don't really have none of that. The erasing is quite clean, and like I said, when you do compare it to a regular mechanical is probably not even like 0.1 pounds or something like that. Meanwhile the YE13 is almost it's 0.6 pounds. So it's almost a pound, which gives it a very nice, hefty, satisfying feeling. So why did I choose this pencil? I'm going to cut to the pay-per-view, and I'm going to demonstrate why I've chosen this pencil. And then I'll get to the pros and cons, and then I'll tell you whether I think the pencil is worth it or not. All right, guys. So I'll see you when I switch the camera down to the pay-per-view. All right, guys. Now that I've switched the camera view, let me demonstrate to you why I've chosen this pencil. But first off, I want to say that the way I do draw is with cross-hatching, right? So everyone knows what cross-hatching is. You use lines to indicate the types of darkness, and you can space them out. You can put them super close together. You can put them at different angles and things like that. You can stipple, you can scribble, you can do whatever you want, right? But the two things I use in my drawing is this and what I call the shading with the broad side of the mechanical pencil, or the blunted side. And as we can see here, I have my 0.9 HB number 2. And I don't know if you can see this on the camera here, but you can see that I've already blended down the side of my 0.9 millimeter. And what does that do? Well, it allows you to put down graphite in a similar manner as a regular graphite pencil or charcoal, or just a regular number 2 pencil if you use the side of it any shade. So let me demonstrate. So you got to find the right side. And as you can see here, using the blunted side of my mechanical, the broad side of my mechanical that I've worn down, I am able to apply a pretty good amount of graphite over a large area while also lending the area a good bit of texture from the graphite itself, right? And how did I achieve this? Well, you just wear it down like this. You can go darker, you can go relatively lighter and things like that. I have a video. If you want to check out my video, I'll link it down in the description on drawing with the broadside of the mechanical pencil. But that's mainly the concept. You wear down the side of the pencil and you use that as a tool to apply graphite to a large drawing or just any drawing at all. I usually use it for human bodies and things like that. For the environments, I like to use cross-hatching and hatching and all of that. But I wanted my reason for switching over to my 1.3 millimeter Rite in the Rain yellow number 13 mechanical is that I wanted a bigger surface area and I wanted a darker lead size for when I draw like black people, or when I draw more darker scenes that require a darker lead. So here, so let me label this. This is my HB 0.9. And then I have, as you can see here, I've already blended this side down lightly, and you can see the graphite on my hand from me applying the graphite already, but I've already blended it down, and you can see how fast I apply this graphite and how big area and how much darker it is when I do it. So look at this. Going from 0.9 to 1.3, I'm already able to cover a lot more ground, and I'm able to achieve a darker lead size by just putting a small amount of pressure. Yes, this is darker than this one because I put a lot more pressure on that one, but even if I apply a little bit more pressure when it comes to the lead size, I'm able to get a darker outcome, and I'm able to get a darker outcome, and I'm able to cover more size when it comes to stuff. And you just layer it on over and over and over again. Same can be said for my 0.9. So right off the bat, you can already see that I'm pushing really hard on my 0.9 right now, and that's basically the darkest I'll ever get with my HB. But with my 2B 1.3, I can get much, much darker with less layers needed to blend and things like that. So you can very clearly see the difference here of my 1.3 millimeter 2B number YE13, right? You can see the difference here. When I'm able to draw with this, I'm able to cover more of a larger area, and I'm on a more positive note. It won't ever break because it's a 1.3 millimeter. I've never broken my lead with my 0.9, but you basically will never break your 1.3 millimeter lead. That being said, I can put HB lead in here to make it a little bit lighter, but that can be said for most pencils, right? And that's basically the demonstration here. The lead quality is quite big, so you can, use the other side to hatch and cross hatch and things like that. But I don't really like doing that. If I'm gonna hatch and cross hatch and I'm gonna do a little bit of more detailing, I'm gonna use my 0.5 millimeter HB pencil. Or I was thinking of getting like a 0.5 like self-rotating lead for hatching and cross hatching, or getting a smaller mechanical such as a 0.3 millimeter. But that's basically the matchup here when it comes to my 0.9 versus 1.3 millimeter. I hope that was interesting. I hope that kind of shows you the difference between the two different pencils. And now I'm going to cut back to telling you guys the pros and cons and what I truly think about the pencil. I'll see you guys there. Now that I've demonstrated what I like about the pencil, or rather the difference between my 0.9 mechanical and my 1.3 millimeter number YE13, let's get into the pros and cons, what I like, what I don't like. What I like about this pencil is the weight and heftiness of this pencil. I love the metal quality of this pencil, the metal aspects on both ends. I love the 1.3 millimeter size format, allowing easy coverage of graphite, and I love this smudge-proof eraser. The only downside, the only con that I don't like is that this pencil only comes with the pre-included lead that comes with the pencil itself and no other extra lead or extra erasers. Although they do sell the pre-included lead that they include in the pencil on the website, and they do sell extra erasers. But I don't think that's a very big deal. But if they just included maybe, a case of lead like they normally do in other mechanicals, and they included a couple of erasers or something like that and charged a couple extra dollars, I would have liked the deal a little bit more. But that's not very a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Despite this not being advertised as a wood marking pencil, despite this being advertised as a wood marking pencil, a construction pencil, and not something for drawing and shading, I think it does a very good job for art, drawing wise, and I think it's very much worth the $10. I forgot to mention this, but like with any other mechanical pencil, you can also put any other sort of lead in here that is not the pre-included 2B. You can put in HB, you can put in 4B, you can put whatever type of lead, as long as it is a 1.3 millimeter lead size, right? All in all, I'm very happy with my purchase, and I wholeheartedly recommend this pencil to anyone who wants to upgrade their art supplies at a somewhat cheap price, and you have this kind of drawing preference similar to mine, where you shade with the blended side of the mechanical. If you just want a fancy pencil and you like drawing like I draw, I think this pencil is very much worth it, and I think that it might be worth the $10, but I can't speak for you. It's your money. I can only try to tell you the pros and cons of these types of things. I'm not trying to sway your opinion. I'm trying to make an objective review, right? So anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you wish to support my artwork and my videos, all my social media and payment tipping links will be in my profile. More videos, more artwork will come regardless. Goodbye for now, guys.